All right, everybody. Hey there. Welcome to our B-Day live stream class. It's the week of April 20th, so it's April 22nd today. Or whenever you guys are watching this, that's what day it is. So, Virginia's here. How's it going, guys? Hey, don't forget to check it in the comment section down below. Let me know who's here. It kind of give me some if I'm throwing out advice during the class or whatnot, I know that you're here. I can kind of give you some advice tailored toward your belt level a little bit. So, yeah, we got a pretty good group with us today. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. We're going to be rolling around on the ground today, doing some grappling drills, some stuff on the munch drill here a little bit. We'll also pull out some stuff from maneuver set B about like how, if you're on the ground and you want to get back up to your feet, how do you make that happen? So if you've never done maneuver set B before, it's okay. It's not a big deal. You don't have to know the set, but we're just going to work on some things that are in there that teach you how to get safely back up to your feet. All right. Finally got the thing with the YouTube videos figured out. So over the next couple of days, you should be getting basically emails from me regarding your Zoom classes. So the Zoom classes go up on the YouTube channel. They're not up there for anybody to see. They're only up there for the people that get the invitation. And you guys will only get the invitation for the classes from your belt. So if you miss any classes, you can always go back through and watch those. We finally got that figured out. So those will be coming up here over the course of the next few days. Donovan, how you doing, sir? All right, so let's go ahead and get started today, guys. So if you got some room around you, you're going to need it. Again, this is a B-Day. Kinley and Sienna, how's it going, guys? This is a B-Day, so there's going to be a lot of stuff on the ground. So just make sure you got some place, you got some yoga mats, you got something padded surface carpeting that you can work on. Skylar, how you doing, ma'am? If you're on some hardwood, you can still do this, but it's going to be less comfortable than you like. So feet together. Let's do it, guys. All right, everybody go ahead and bow. Bend your knees slightly to that horse stance. Spiders out, fingers on top. Nice. Feet together. Stand up straight and bow. All right, Megan, Lucia, how you guys doing today? So let's start with just some falling. So all we're going to do, you guys remember the 4 things to do when you fall: tuck your chin, roll back, slap, and breathe out. Now, if you're on a harder surface or something like that, keep these kind of light. Just use them as a warm-up. If you got some mats, you're at home, you got some padded surfaces you can train on, all right, you can kind of pick this up a little bit more. Some things that people have used, just so you guys know when we're doing the falling, if you want to practice falling more, take the cushions, if it's okay, take the cushions off your couch and like put them on the ground and then just fall on those. Couch cushions tend to be pretty soft, so make sure that's okay with your folks before you do that. Those are some things you can do. So you remember the 4 things to do when you fall: tuck your chin, roll back, slap, and breathe out. So from right here, I'm going to do is cross my arms, tuck my chin. We're just going to skip right to level 4. Sit, roll back, slap, and breathe out. All right, come on up to your feet. So what I want you guys to do is we're going to give you guys a little bit of time to work on this. If you've got some room and some padded surface, you can like walk around and fall from different directions. Do that. If you don't have as much room, all right, just work on making that fall feel natural right where you're at. As you get better at this, you can pick up the pace a little bit. You can fall a little bit more depending on the kind of surface you've got. All right. If you don't have as much of a padded surface and you need to do this more as a roll because you're on hardwood, all right, then do it more as a roll. All right. So one thing you can do on the hardwood here is I kind of think like I have an attacker here. I'll kind of get him up in a clench. Do the same idea. Sit, roll back. I'll take out the slap, all right, because I'm doing more roll, and then I'll just like kick my leg up, boom, inside his leg. All right. And what it is, I kind of flip him over my head. Boom, and he goes right there. All right. So if you've got hardwood floors and you want to take this as more of a roll, less of a fall, that's how you do it. All right. So for the rest of us, and you guys, for all of us here, thanks, guys. So for the rest of us here, I'm going to give us a little bit of time. Just work on your fall. All right. The more you do it, try to fall faster if you can. That kind of stuff. If you got to work it as a roll, work it as a roll. Get ready and go. So sit, roll back, slap, and breathe out. Nice. And just come back up to your feet. All right. And then do it again. So I'm going to turn to face the different direction. Woo! There you go. Nice. All right. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to start to fall a little bit faster. Here. If you're like, that's too much, I'm on the hardwood, then do what you can do. Make it as more of a roll. So I'm going to make it as a roll. I grab this bad guy up in the clench. I'm going to sit, roll back, and just throw him right over my head. All right? You could also roll and go with him and end up in the mount on top of him, but that's not what we're doing right now. So from right here, do it again. Oh, what do you got? You falling? Boom. Kick him over. Bam, just like that. Nice. One more time, guys. Ready, and go. Here, boom. Woo. Kick him right over. Nice. Come on up. All right. So just a little bit of falling around to get warmed up. All I want to do is take this and put an attacker on there. All right. So guys that do grappling styles of martial arts like jiu-jitsu or judo, I like to tell you that 70% of like fights go to the ground. And that's true depending on what you mean by that. So if he shoves you and you fall down, did that fight go to the ground? For you, it did. All right. So we're going to put the situation. He shoves us, we go down. Now we got that technique when we're down and we kick it from the ground for encounter with danger. We talked about some stuff in Universal 1 that we can do in that situation. All right. But if he shoves us down and he doesn't immediately come over the top, we're going to do the battleship turret. So if you've done this before, the idea is he shoves us down, we sit, we roll back, slap and breathe out. And then he's right there still. He doesn't come over the top and try to just start jumping on us. Or he's going to try to run around and kick us in the side of the head or something. Oh, that's horrible. What kind of a person would do that? So what I'm going to do is when he shoves me out, I get my feet up. I start guarding my feet right away. I see him start to move. I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to put them on the ground behind him, maybe on the side of you here. Make sure you're not on your elbows, all right? All the time. Be on your hands most of the time. So this hand's on the ground. If you see it on this side, this hand's on the ground. My feet stay up. I'm going to basically spin around on my tailbone, all right, like a battleship turret. All right, and here, bam, bam. If they get too close, I'm going to blast them with the cannons. Pop, pop. All right. So if you've got something you can work this at home with, what you can do is they can kind of shove you down and they can try to run around your feet. Now, if you're working this at home with a partner, please, 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 there's got to be an understanding here. I don't want you guys kicking out into their knees. All right. That's what you would do is you basically try to kick their feet out from underneath them, kick them in the groin, take your knee out sideways, whatever the case may be. Nothing good for this person. All right. So when you're at home, a couple of things you got to understand. When you're shoving them down and you're trying to get around their feet, don't just reach over the top and go, ha, ha. They would kick you before you could hit them. All right. When you're on the ground, I don't want you guys kicking your partners. I know sometimes it's going to be tempting. All right. But partners, you got to understand, if their feet are pointing at you, don't be in range of them. Try to get around them for sure if you can tag them on the head. But if you're reaching over the top of their, you're just getting kicked. All right. So let's give it a shot here a little bit. So if you got a partner, you can do this with them. If you don't, you can just imagine there's a guy trying to run around your feet. So they're going to shove me down. I'm going to sit, roll back, slap and breathe out. Get right into my hands right away. Right up. Keep your feet up in the air. Don't let your feet drop down here. Then they really can't get you. So as they're moving around you, turn, spin, turn your tailbone. Sometimes if I got to turn a little faster, I'll drop an elbow down to the ground real quick. All right, then I want to get right back up. That elbow can stick me if I keep it on the ground too much. All right, but sometimes if I just got to make a real quick turn, I'll drop that elbow down a little, just to make a quick spin, all right, a little bit faster. So the idea is to move around. If you're by yourself, you can start throwing out different kinds of kicks. So you can kick like, keep your foot turned sideways. I just keep it like an inverted side kick. That's the thing, sure. All right, inverted side kick, like I'm stomping this way, sideways out onto their knee. If you try to go this way, then a lot of times your foot, I think I've talked about this before, your foot can kind of slip off. If you're not right on with your accuracy, turning that foot sideways keeps you able to spin around and also gives you a larger striking surface on them. If I'm going for the groin, I'm kicking that way for sure. All right. So that's kind of what my targets are going to be. All right. So as you're moving around, that would be the idea. If you don't have a partner and you want to try some kicks out there, bam, kick them from right here, pop. All right. Whatever you got, boom. Try to throw some kicks out there with them. So picture them coming in. All right. They reach over the top. You can drop back to here and kick them out like that and then get right back up to here. All right. Come on up for a second, guys. All right. Now, if you got a partner, switch other person's turn. All right. So if you don't have a partner, try it again. A couple of quick things that I've noted here. I'm wearing some different kind of karate pants with a stripe down the side so you guys can tell which leg I have in the front. All right. Very handy. All right. But the made of material does not allow me to spin on the mats very well. So that's something I didn't think would be a problem, but it is. So here we go. One more time. If you've got a partner, other person's turn to go. If you did that for like the whole time I was down there, if you were spinning around the whole time I was talking down there, your belly is probably feeling a little worked out right now. It's a pretty good core workout too. All right, so from right here, push them down, sit, roll back, slap and breathe out, right up to those hands right away. If you've got a partner that's trying to run around, if you don't, just kick it out with those feet. Go, keep going, guys, keep having them move. Boom, bam. All right, any direction, try to spin around the other way. Pop, how fast, drop back when you got it. A lot of times when I gotta throw that kick, I'll drop back on an elbow, onto an elbow to stabilize me a little bit more. I don't want to kick and then get shoved back like that. So I'll brace on an elbow, boom, when I kick. All right, and then keep going around. Pow, bam. Okay, kicking out that way. Whatever I need to do. Spinning back the other direction. Bam. Good job. Keep going. Keep going. And time. Stop. There you go. So just working on that. If you've got a training partner, somebody can kind of move around the feet. You could have them throwing like, what if they're moving around your feet and they try to like grab your feet and throw them one way and then get around them. So those are all kind of things you can work if you've got somebody there to work with. All right, so, pardon me. All right, what I want to do now, getting up safe. So this is something you can do with or without a training partner. All right, but if you don't have a training partner, find something solid that you can push off of. Just look at me real quick, guys. Listen to this one. Your couch does not count. All right, you will push your couch if you do this right with your foot. All right, now I will say this: if your couch is up against the wall, you can push it that way to get up. All right, but you want to find something that's braced, solid. Don't use the table in the dining room. Don't use the TV stand. All right, don't use the TV. All right, use something that's like the cabinet, the counters. All right, a wall. If you can brace it, if it's braced strong, you don't want to put your foot through the wall. All right. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to use the blue bag here. I'm going to use the base of the blue bag, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that same thing. They shove me down like this. Boom. And we could say, you know, whatever situation, like he moved around, but this is where I end up. I'm going to get back up on my feet from right here. This is where my opening is. He's just that far away. Maybe I throw that kick into him here, and I kind of freeze him in place. So I'll give you guys a side view over here. Hopefully you guys can see this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my right foot. You can use whichever foot you want. So what I do is I drop onto my right side. I put my left foot on the ground. Kick out with that right foot. There it is right there. Stop and freeze him in place with that. Left foot goes on the ground, and I lift my butt up. See, nothing's on the ground. This hand is on the ground. This foot is on the ground, and that's it. So there's that kick, and then I'm going to shove backwards with that foot. Boom. Hands on the ground, and swing up to my feet. All right, every time I do this, I get breakdancing vibes. So I'll put on some carp art and do some head spins or something like that. I'm not doing either of those things, but I kind of want to. All right, so what you can do is if you got a partner, they can do the shove down here, and they just, what they're going to do, this is a good chance for your training partner too to work on stability here. They're going to basically get into a stance, all right, like a horse stance sideways to you. So I'd be right here kicking off of his leg, and I'm going to bend my knee and push it out this way and just give them a nice solid post to push off of when they come up. When they push off of this leg, if you got a partner and you're pushing off of them, don't let this knee buckle in like this. Keep it driving out, driving out into them. All right. So if you've got a wall or something you can brace off of and push off of, that's not really going to apply. But also it's a chance for your training partner to work on having a nice, solid, stable stance. Kicking knees is a thing that people can do. I mean, getting your knee kicked off underneath you is, I'm going to say, is bad. So work on when you're getting pushed off of bracing that knee nice and solid. All right. So it doesn't just buckle when they push off of it. All right. So we'll give it a try here. We'll go like one person goes 3 times and then the other person goes 3 times. If you're by yourself, guess how many times you're going to go? 6? Oh, you guys are geniuses. So from right here, do it from the beginning every time. If you got somebody to shove you down, awesome. If you're not, just sit, roll back, slap and breathe out. Boom. I'm going to kick out here with my right foot. Boom, onto my right side. Lift up, kick off, get back up. I like to use both hands on the ground to help me swing to my feet. You got 2 hands, let's use them both. All right, so do it again. Here, same person's turn. Sit, roll back. Stop and breathe out. I'm kicking out on the leg with the right. Guarding up here with my left hand. Don't just be here. All right, right here. I don't want to go over the top and pop me and interrupt you on my awesome ninja action I'm about to do. Left foot, right hand. Boom, kick off. Oh, I only use one hand that time. Somebody's getting cocky. Somebody's getting cocky. I'm going to pay for that. All right, do it again. First person's turn, last time. Shove them. Do it. Bam. Oh, they kick. Brace. Boom, foot, hands, spring up to your feet. If you use both hands, you are able to swing yourself back further. Just so you know, I'm looking at the distance. I'm going to get up, boom. Because that kick out here should kind of freeze them and kind of drive that front foot that I'm kicking off of into the ground and freeze them right there, but not forever. They're not, and they're just stuck there forever. All right, and then you get up and they're going to be able to move after you again. So give yourself as much distance. If you're working this with a partner or a wall or whatever, how far back can you swing yourself without just stumbling back off balance? I mean, yeah. But you want to be able to, how far can you come back up and get balanced and get back in control? So if you got a partner, it's their turn now, other person's turn. If you're by yourself, you get 3 more magical reps. Here we go, they shove you down, sit, roll back, go. Nice. Just do the one kick with the right foot, right on the side of their leg. All right, push into them, and kind of if you're doing this on the ground, test their leg a little bit. Don't just willy-nilly and push off right away because they might not be braced. So push my bag back. Give them a chance to brace. Push into a little bit with this right foot and see if they've got that leg braced. Then left foot, right hand, come up, boom, kick. Both hands on the ground and swing up. All right, let's do it again. Here we go. Sit, roll back. If you get pushed, oh man, here. Boom, kick it out with the right. Left foot, right hand, kick out. Come on up. All right, here we go. One more time, guys. And do it. Oh, boom. Nice. From right here, kick out with the right. Left foot, right hand. Nice. Now lift up your butt. Test that leg. Sorry. Test the leg first. Test the leg with this right foot here. Make sure the leg is braced. Then lift up your butt. Push off. And get out. Or get up. All right. Good job, guys. So that would be the idea. Like I kind of push up, give myself as much room coming back to stand up to my feet and to get on guard. All right. This thing's probably not over, but at least I'm not on the ground with him on his feet. That's not really the ideal position for the most part. So, what do I want to say? So that's it. Just a chance, just looking for a chance to get to your feet safely as possible. All right. And intelligently. Don't just stand up and walk into like him punching you or him kicking you or something like that. He's just trying to stand up. All right. So, oh, that's what I wanted to say. If you go to do this kick out and like on a real bad guy, you do just sweep their foot out. So a lot of times what will happen is you'll time that kick out. So when you do that kick on their leg, if you time it before their foot hits the ground and you kick their foot out from underneath them, they could just fall down on top of you. All right. So that's why I want to keep that guarded. If I'm doing this here, boom, and I go kick out with a right, and I time it just as their foot comes, just as their foot's touching the ground, before the weight gets on, I take that leg out from underneath them, they're going to fall back on top of me. Oh, right into my guard? Sure, right into my guard. All right? So just something to be aware. If that leg is embraced, you might not be pushing yourself back up to your feet. You might just be bringing him down onto the ground with you. All right? So it's something that you can work on that. It's not something we can really duplicate if you don't have a training partner. Even with a training partner, it can get a little, not something I would have you do when you weren't here at the school with me watching you to make sure that everybody walked away from that one. But that would be another drill you can do. Like what happens if you kick that leg out and they just collapse on top of you. All right. So I wanted to work on something just a little bit here with some of the side falling. All right. And I wanted to take that. I know we've done it. We worked it as a takedown here a little bit. Hopefully you guys have got a chance to work that with a training partner. Remember the biggest thing when working this takedown is to make sure, or working this as a takedown, excuse me, is to make sure that you get them off balance. So when you step in, you hug them up, boom, suck them into you, that they should be kind of like this, all right? When you pull them in to that hug, they should be kind of backwards, all right? And back on their back leg a little bit, all right? So if you get them off balance like that, it becomes remarkably easy to take them down to the ground. All right, so let's work this as a side fall first, and we'll take it in a little bit to our takedown. All right, so the idea is you start off with one leg in the front. It doesn't really matter. All that's going to happen is your back leg goes to the front. Don't put weight on your front foot. Give you guys a side view of it here. Boom, should be this way. Sit, slap with just the one hand. So this is just my right hand. The whole left side of my back is off the ground. And I want you guys for right now to just work it, stepping over, and then coming back up. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of work it back and forth. One side, then the other side, one side, then the other side. All right? So here we go, other side. Oh, woo. Doesn't matter which is first, left or right. All right? Just make sure every time you do it, you do it on the other side. If you can face different directions every time, that's cool too. Boom, one side, stepping over. And then the other side. Boom. Okay, stepping over. Nice. All right, you're going to find one side might feel a little smoother than the other one. And that's why you're practicing both. All right, here we go. Oh, nice, stepping right over. And one more time on each side. Here we go. Bam, and stepping over. And other side, same thing. Boom. All right, stepping on over. All right, so just keep in mind with the side falls that most of the time, that's how we end up falling down. All right, now if I'm getting tackled or taken down, that might be a different story. All right, but if I'm just walking along and I slip and I fall or something like that, that's usually what happens. I don't fall straight backwards. I'm going to fall kind of off to the side like that. So the biggest things you want to make sure you do with that is don't put your hand behind you to catch yourself. All right? Trust your fall. Trust fall? No. Trust your fall. All right? Trust that you know how to do this. All right? Keep that arm here and then slap with it as it hits the ground, or as you hit the ground, excuse me. All right? So that's kind of the idea. That's a habit you want to kind of build in when you're working on those side falls, is not reaching out like this behind you to try to stop yourself. All right, especially when you work this as a takedown. All right, then you got your weight and his weight or their weight coming down on that arm. All right, so if we're working this as a takedown, all right, we do add in one little step in there. So what I do is as a takedown. So if I'm in a guard stance, I'm going to say my left leg's in the front. You can start with your left leg in the front. You can do it. Doesn't matter. All right? But I'm going to go left leg in the front for right now. The other person is the same thing. Guard's hand's right here. I'm going to take my front hand. I'm going to grab their front hands, basically grab the wrist. I'm going to pull it that way. So I'm going to pull it, boom, and I'm going to make them go, I'm going to make them go like this. Ugh. All right? So you picture a guy with the guard's hands, and his left leg's in the front, and basically his arm's on your, you don't have to go like that far with it, with his arm on the back of your arm. All right? You grab his wrist and just pull it down by your side. All right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hug him up around his belt. I'm going to pin that front arm. Back arm is free. Put my head on the back of his shoulder. Step my right leg up to a horse stance. There's the extra step. And there's where I hug him in. There's where I make him kind of lean over. So I pull my arms into my left hip and tip my left shoulder into him a little bit. And that kind of gets him leaning over backwards like we talked about before. Then the right leg just steps in behind him, and there's my fall. Sit, boom, step over. And there it is. All right? If you've got somebody you can work this with and room you can work with to take them down, all right, you can kind of go back and forth on this one. Keep it light. I would say take out the slack. You do still want to let go of them. Otherwise, we'll have you to take them down and they'll land on your arm, and they'll kind of pin your arm underneath them. So that's no fun. All right? But just take them down. You can do this one nice and smooth. So when you're getting taken down, work on your back fall here. As you're taking me down, I'm going to sit, roll back, slap, and breathe out as much as I can. Probably not slap, but yeah. All right? So that's the idea. We'll kind of work it back and forth. One person's turn, then the other person's turn. If you don't have a partner right now, we're just going to work this in the air a little bit. All right, I'll talk about a couple things as we go through it. So from right here, guard stance facing them. Take your front hand, grab it, and pull it down toward you. So I'll give you guys a side view over here. So right here, I'm pulling them down this way, toward me and down to the corner. All right, bam. Hug them up around the belt, head in the back of their shoulder. Back arm's free, their front arm's pinned. All right, step up to the horse. Suck them in. Keep that weight down. All right, the idea is when I suck them in here, I want to eliminate the space between us. There shouldn't be a gap between my belly and their hip. All right, then step your right leg in, sit, roll back, slap and breathe out, step right over to the knees. There you go, guys. All right, switch it again, other person's turn. So guard stance here, grab lead hand, pull it down to the corner. All right, if you got to step in, hug them up. You probably have to step in right there. Hug them up around the belt, head on the back of their shoulder, step up to the horse, suck them in, lean them over, step, fall, and roll right to the knees. All right, other person's turn last time here, guys. Same thing. So guard stance, grab that front hand, pull it down to the corner. Hug them up around the belt, head in the back of their shoulder, step up to the horse, suck them in, step, go, slap, and step over. All right, you should end up sitting right on top of them in a mountain position. All right, so for right now, don't worry about it. Once you get in the mountain, just come on up, and it's the other person's turn. So that's a little bit of taking this back fall into a takedown, or sorry, the side fall into a takedown, excuse me. We kind of did it with the back fall too. Even if you had somebody to work on this with, I wouldn't recommend doing this for the first time at home. But you can kind of work that back fall into a little bit of a rolling takedown. So we did it like where you get them in the clench. If you guys remember how the clench works out, I basically take, this is my bad guy. There's his face, forehead, ears, back of his head. All right. So yeah, I take the hand, I wrap it around behind his back of his neck. This hand goes in the back of his arm, ducking him like that. Basically, I'm just trying to look to kind of break his, Jiminy Christmas, looking to break his posture and get him all bent over. So I got him in this clench. This hand goes behind the neck. This hand goes in the back of his arm. And I just kind of drop my weight, anchor my elbows, and pull him back in. And then I can do my back fall from right there. I know my feet aren't together, but that doesn't really matter. All right. So as I sit down with him, I'm going to take my back foot. I'm going to kick it up on the inside of his, it's going to be his left leg. So on the inside of his leg here. All right, and then I'm going to do a back shoulder roll. So I'm going to sit here, kick his leg up, shoulder roll, and he should be right there. All right. When you do this with people, and again, I don't recommend this at this point, doing this at home for the first time. These are people for your partner, especially in class. You want to make sure that you really pull their head down, all right, and tuck their chin in for them before you do this roll. You don't want them going into the mat like this, because then you won't be able to roll them. Their face will act like a kickstand. All right. So just try this in the air a couple times. We've kind of done some stuff with like hooking the leg, but before we've kind of hooked the leg, then just roll them over to the side. This one, we're committing to it. We're going straight over the shoulder. All right, so I'm going to grab them up here, sit, boom, stick the right leg out, roll over that shoulder, and then sit right on top, roll right underneath you. All right, one more time here, guys, one more time. That's kind of fun. All right, so clench him up, boom, sit it down, boom, kick that leg, and they're right there. Oh, sorry. That's a little too much. So just another application for that for the back fall, besides just falling down, can I use it for taking somebody to the ground? Yeah, absolutely. All right. And the one we did before, you kind of stepped in and you kind of rolled it, stepping over sideways like that. And that's totally fine and probably more practical than rolling them over your head like that. But I will say that rolling them over your head is far more fun. Right? And you're going to use your shoulder roll. So one more time, clench them up, sit, kick that leg up into the leg, and roll over that shoulder. Oh, sorry. All right. So what I want to do, guys, is we've been working on the munch drill a little bit. I don't think we got too much of it last week. All right. But we've gone up to like level 3 on the munch drill, which is keeping the weight on them heavy and then trying as I move to dig the weight into them more. So level 1 was no touching. Level 2 was just touching. Sorry. Level 3 is keeping the weight heavy. And then level 4 is keeping the weight on them. And then as I move, digging the weight into them more. So instead of coming up, moving and then settling down on them, I'm digging into them as I move into the next position. All right. That can be difficult to do without a training partner. We tried it without a pad. I tried it without a pad. And what I found that the pad kept squirting out. So as I would like dig into the pad to move, the pad would just go whoop and just shoot right to the side, which was really hilarious. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty funny. All right. But it's not really how to get that idea. So if you don't have a training partner, somebody you can work this with, you will probably have to do this in the air. All right. Yeah. Turns out that using a cushion or a pad doesn't work out as well as I thought it was going to. So if you guys remember how this goes, I'll start giving you a side view here. So I will start off with a pad here just real quick, just kind of show you guys what we're looking at. So you got a partner, you got a person. All right. We're going to go body, head, bam, just like that. All right. So we'll start today with level 2. Level 2 is just staying in contact, and it will allow me to use my grappling dummy here to demonstrate it. All right. So level 2, stay in contact. As you move from position to position, try to stay in contact with him. Don't come up and then settle back down. So starts in the side control, the route goes, top knee by the head, elbows on the ground, chest on their chest. Straighten out the right leg behind you, sit your left leg through into that scarf hold. This is, I would say for right now for level 2, don't even do the hand position. Just have your hands right here. All right. Then what you're going to do is turn your chest onto their chest, step your left leg over, and you're going to go back north-south. All right. So you want your belly on their head and your chest on their chest again. All right. Now straighten out your left leg behind you to the corner. Keep that contact. Sit through into a reverse scarf. Oh man, what did I just do to this guy's neck? All right. Boom. You're going to be facing his feet. All right. This is not one that we usually hold for a long time. This is more something we hit on the way to something else. All right. So from right here, take your left leg, pull it back, and go to a side control on this side. This should be your right knee up by his head, right elbow just like that, knees wide. Boom. Get that weight down on him. All right. From right here, I'm going to slide my right knee in a little bit and step my left leg over. So I'm sitting on top of him in the mount, pardon me. All right. So there's something. All right. So that's level 2. Now level 3, you can go on a little bit heavier with the weight and stuff like that. But level 4, I want to work on this today, guys, is really dropping the weight down and driving it into him. All right. And really using those arms to munch him up. All right. When you do this real good and you get them munched in each of those positions, they're not really on the ground too much at all. All right. You got your knees and your elbows underneath their base a little bit, and they don't have too much of themselves on the ground. That means they don't have really any kind of a base, any kind of a base to drive off of, all right, to try to wiggle out or to try to roll you off or try to escape really in any way. They're kind of just helpless, I mean, for lack of a better term. So let's try, if you've got a partner, we're really going to go ahead and try to dig the weight. If you hear your partner go, ugh, as you move from a position, you're doing it right. All right. Sorry, partners. So from right here, start in that mount position. All right. So get that weight down low. All right. Take this elbow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it underneath their head. All right. This elbow down here, I'm going to get it underneath their hip. All right. I like to have, ideally, unlike the last level of this drill, I like to have my elbow and my knee touching with their head right here, so their neck's not even on the ground. All right, so I've got their head off the ground, my elbow and my knee are touching here, left elbow, left knee. All right, and right here, my right elbow is underneath their hip and keeping the hip off the ground. How much you can get your right knee under their hip, it kind of depends. All right, but that would be the idea. Have as little of them on the ground as possible. All right, then as I move to a scarf hold, what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out my left leg to the corner, drop my weight, and dig it into them as I slide my right leg underneath. All right, so rolling through to right here, digging that side of my chest into them as I sit through to that scarf hold. All right? Really dip the hip and the shoulder. Now, as I do this, this hand, my left hand, should be grabbing their arm. I'm going to suck it into me this way. All right? As I tighten that headlock on. So this is the area where their neck goes. Boom, that's a lot smaller of an area all of a sudden. All I did is just drop this left hip back onto them. All right? And I should have them munched up. They're really, if I'm doing this, this shoulder up there should be off the ground. Their neck and head should be off the ground. Watch it if you've got a training partner. You don't crank onto this too much and like hurt their neck. Yeah, I know. All right? So from right here, I'm going to go to a north-south. All right? So I'm going to drop, I'm going to spread the elbow out, widen that base, and just drop that weight on them. As I roll, all I'm really going to do is just roll and squish my chest onto their chest and face. Training partner, turn your head to the side. If you're on the ground and they're doing this to you, turn your head to the side so they don't just scrape your face all to pieces. All right? Don't step over too much with this left leg. I'm going to roll onto my belly. The whole leg just slides. Boom, right to here. Right arm comes around here to the other side of them. All right, I can check and slide and drive this across their body as much as you feel like doing. As I get to right here, boom, that is some angle. All right? But that's the idea. I want to stay low here on that north-south. All right? Now, a couple things with the north-south. Getting them really munched up with the north-south can be a little tricky. You can take one leg as you got them here. You can take one leg and straighten it out behind you, and then it'll drop your weight onto them a little bit more. Sometimes you go both legs. Oops, you can't even see that. Both legs out behind you like this is kind of a risky proposition. They can roll you a little bit. But sometimes I'll hit there if I just want to squish them for a second and kind of pin them in place. Then I'll quickly pull one knee up to give me more of a brace, or the other knee up, depending on what I need to do. So you can have both knees in, one knee out, the other knee out, both legs out. It just kind of depends on what you need to do to keep them in control. For the arms, I typically, just like we talked about, like having the arms pinned to the sides, I'll kind of try to take them underneath the back a little bit and grab not so much onto the sides of their belt, if they're wearing a belt in class, but onto the back of their belt. So I'll kind of use my arms to go underneath their body and grab the belt, and that kind of lifts their body up off the ground again a little bit. Don't try to pick them up. You're not going to do that. All right, I just want to slide the hands under and grab right there. All right, and that would be the idea for that north-south, is you get your maximum munching. All right, so from the north-south right here, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten out the left leg again. I'm going to drop my weight onto them. All right, now, when you take your right leg and sit through into a reverse scarf, be careful. You're probably going to knee your partner in the head. So partners, get ready to get kneed in the head. So take your right leg, sit it through, keep it squishing them down, and drive those hips forward into that reverse scarf. All right? You're not going to be munching them up as much here. Oh, much munching? Here. All right? That's why this is more of a transitional position. There's not really you can do some stuff with the arms. You can get that right arm under them a little bit, but this is not really some place I'd like to try to hold somebody a lot. It's really awkward to get the arms controlled and keep the weight on them correctly. I'm having a hard time controlling neck and head. I can't really reach around. Ow! Grab his neck and head like that. All right? So it's more of a transitional thing. From right here, but what I want to, so from right here, I want to transition, hey, into that, oh my gosh, side control on this other side. So that right leg is going to come through this way. I'm going to widen out that base and drop the weight. Right leg comes through, drop into my belly, and then pull the knees in. And again, I want this knee and this elbow trying to touch under his neck. This elbow under his hip a little bit. This left knee under his hip a little bit if you can. Try to get him up off the ground. All right? Then you're going to slide your left knee in, squish, and step over to a mount. Now, when you step over, your hips are going to come up off them. Try to slide your knee. So when I step over them like this, all right, into the mount, I try to slide my knee across the belt. Man, let me get side. So as I step over to a mount, I try to slide the knee across the belly. So instead of lifting it up and stepping over, I'll basically just like this, but with my knee right across his belly. All right? And then I put the chest on the chest too. Most of the weight I try to put on my chest to pin them to the ground. And then the knee sliding across just kind of helps to keep their hips checked down a little bit more. And I end up sitting on top of them in the mount. Now, in level 4 for the munch drill, we add in one more position. There's one more move. All right? It's called the super mount. It's not called the super mount. It's not called that. It's just fun to say that. All right? So it's basically a way that I end all the misery I just created for my partner down here with just a little bit more misery. So what I'm going to do is from that mount position, I'm going to get back to putting my dummy back together. So from that mount position at the end, I should be right here. Boom. head. There he is. I should be like this, or however you got in the mount position. All right. So what I'm gonna do from right here, both hands go on his chest like I'm trying to give him chest compressions. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop up. I'm gonna put my right knee right in his solar plexus or his sternum. It depends. I like the solar plexus better. All right. But some people, I have that knee in the sternum, and there's nothing fun about that either. All right. So I'm gonna pop up my knee right in the solar plexus. That's right where his rib cage separates. All right. So hands here on his chest, pop up, boom. I'm gonna drop that knee right into his solar plexus. All right. And notice his knee. I'm driving that knee into him. All right. As I do this, my hands are gonna slip. As my knee comes up, my hands are gonna slip around behind the back of their head. Bend over like this. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit up straight. To do this, really just drive your hips forward. Boom. All right. So I don't think about just going like this and then just sitting up and then just pulling my shoulders back. I'm going to drive my butt forward. What that does is, that pulls his head up, but also drives that knee down into him more. All right. So that's the idea. Grab his head, boom, on the back, and it's just boom. Just drive the hips forward. All right. Now, if you're doing this on a partner and you haven't figured this out already, do this part slow. Partner, when they're doing this on you, get your tapping hand ready. All right, get ready to tap out. All right, if you're not tapping out, they definitely ain't doing this right. All right, this is super uncomfortable. All right, so that's the idea. And that's level 4 on the munch drill. You come all the way, sorry, you get up to here, and it rather undramatically, boom. There's the mount, boom, and you stand up. And then there's no closing for this because it's not a set or anything like that. It's just a drill. All right. So, but that's the munch drill. All right, and that's level 4. That is maximum munchification. So, work this. I would say if you did this once, do it with your training partner. All right, have them do it on you. All right, just because it's not really fair for you to do it on them and then not let them do it on you. All right, this is also one of the things that does help to feel. Like, this is them crunching you up. This is what it feels like on the other side. This is why they make those sounds as you moved around them. If you're doing this with a training partner, when you're having it done on you, give them some feedback. Like if you feel them lift up and then settle back down on you, let them know, hey, careful man. All right. You won't have to tell them if they dug into you as they move. They'll know when you go like that. All right. So yeah, just for that super mount at the end, guys, get that tapping hand ready. Because when they do that on you, it's not going to take very much of that before you before you start tapping out. All right. So if you guys have any questions about the munch drill, if you're having some problems, everything making it work, you can send me a message. You can bring it up in your Zoom classes too, and let me know. We can try to work on some stuff with it there. I know sometimes over these lessons, it's fun to have the drills and stuff like that, but if you guys have questions, you're having trouble making stuff work, this isn't super interactive. You can put a question in the comments section too during the class if you're having trouble making something work, and we're going to work on it during this as well. So there's the munch drill. There's level 4. All right. And this is something just you can use this. I would say drill it. It's something you can practice a lot, and it just really helps to keep your grappling game tight. All right, and make sure that when you move. So the whole thing about when you're trying to move around somebody, whether it's to get them into a different position or whether they're starting to escape or because you like a different one better or whatever, you're trying to set up a submission or something like that, you lose them when you move. So you lose people in transition as you go from one position to the next, as you go from your feet to take them down to the ground, as you go from a control position and go to put on a submission like a choke or an arm bar or something like that. Usually that gives them a gap where they can get out and try to escape. All right. So the whole purpose of the munch drill is to eliminate those gaps in transition. Don't give them Don't give them that room to get out as you move. So, yeah, practice that drill, guys. If you've got somebody, if you've got somebody at home you work with this a little bit bigger of a person whose body can take some more of that abuse, all right, that might be something to think about as well. Like having you guys do this drill on me, I could take you guys like digging your rib cage into me every time, a little bit more than you guys can. So I would say let's do this once back and forth with the partner. If it was unpleasant, it's not really supposed to be. All right. If you like this on them and they're like, I didn't like that at all. Good. They're not supposed to like it. So that's the last thing about the munch drill we're going for today, guys. But yeah, drill that. Make it work. Feel comfortable moving around, digging your way into them as you move from position to position. Really feel like you can have them controlled. All right. If you're doing this really good, a small person can control a much bigger person. If you just, much bigger is a relative term. if you distribute that weight and use it correctly. So I think the last thing I want to go for today, guys, we talked about the takedowns a little bit. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Just real quick, I wanted to experiment with something here just a little tiny bit. So for some of you guys, this is going to be a little bit above and beyond what we normally work at your belt level, but I did want to work on something here just real quick for the grappling. All right. This allows me to use a prop that I've been trying to use for weeks. So I want to work real quick on some submissions. So for those of you guys that are like we don't do this in the beginning kids class at all. So Carson, Sienna, Kinley, we've never worked this kind of stuff before. In your class, and that's fine. All right. This is something that you can kind of work on with a training partner if you've got one. I would say whenever you're learning a submission, do it slowly. Practice it slowly. So submissions, for those of you guys that might be familiar, are basically ways to make them give up. So I would talk about when you guys grapple, if you feel like you're getting hurt, tap out. Basically, I'm making them tap out on purpose. All right. So during class, I would say like, for the beginning guys, Carson, Kinley, Sienna, you guys out there, don't do these during class. We're not going to work on these. All right. But for the advanced guys out there, this is something you can do. You can kind of work on it slow. Always start with it slow. Put it on slow when you're having it. If you're training with a partner, all right, apply the pressure slow and wait for them to tap out. If you're doing this with a partner and they're doing it on you, all right, don't try to tough it out. All right. We're going to be doing this a few times. If you try to tough it out 5 times in a row, that's going to wear in your elbow a little bit. So be safe about this. Be smart about this. So if we started with this guy, oh man, this is getting more and more fun every time. All right, let's start with the easy one here. We're going to start with him from a mount position. All right, so here's his head, here's his arm. The idea is we can grab his arm, we can do whatever we want. We can say like he's trying to reach up and push us away. That'll work too. So we'll go with the easiest one from right now. He's reaching up to push us away. This is so much fun. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my arms around either side of his arm. So my right hand is going to go on their chest. My left hand wraps around their arm and goes on their chest. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put his arm down for a second, is I'm going to use these hands, and we talked about like I'm giving the chest compressions, like I'm giving CPR. I'm going to use my hands to lift up my feet. All right, so what I'm going to do, there's his arm back. I'm going to lift up my feet, and I'm going to spin around. I'm going to try to have to make this in a couple steps because of the pads and stuff like that. But I'm going to lift up. My right is going to come on this side of him, and my left foot is going to step over his head. So I've got this left arm wrapped around him, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit my butt straight down on the ground. Boom. My right is going to step over. So basically, his head is right here. My left leg's over his head, top of his shoulders, whatever. My right leg's down over his body. I'm hugging up his right arm. This is the one. I'm hugging up his right arm, and I'm going to basically just lay straight back on the ground. The closer, if you have to this way so you can see. If this is the guy right here, all right, the closer you can be to him with your butt, the easier it's going to be to apply this arm bar. So what I'm going to do is as I lean back, I'm just going to take this arm and hug it up to my chest. So I got here, before I lay back, hug up that arm, and I'm going to sit back like this. All right? So I want to have his arm basically bend it over right over my hip. Don't take it right over your own groin, guys. All right? I know in class, like if I'm wearing a cup, all right, but I'm not wearing a cup on the street all the time. So I take it over the hip, and then I just hug this up to my chest, and then just lift my butt up like that. And that is going to make his arm bend the wrong direction. All right, so all you're going to do is just hug this up, and then just bridge up with the hips a little bit. All right, and that's all. Now, when you're having it done on you, tap out when you feel the pressure. Don't wait until it hurts. You'll feel like, ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, there it is, and that's when you tap. All right, so when you feel their tap, so I'm here, I lift up the hips, they tap, I take it back down. All right, do it again. Lift up the hips, they tap, take it back down. All right, just do it twice, and then switch. All right, other person gives it a shot. So, couple key components to this with this is getting creative with prompts. All right, let's give him his head back here too. So, a couple key components with this. You want to hug at the arm from the initial position. All right, so when I'm in the mount, I want to get the right arm on their chest, but the left hand wraps around their arm like that. So that's got my arm, that's got the arm hugged up right now. All right, so weight on the hands and then step around. So I bring the right foot up, left leg steps around the head, and then just sit my butt straight down. I want to try to sit it as close to them as I can. All right, the more, if I sit back out here, there's all this gap between my butt and them. All right, it's going to make it, I can still do it, but it's going to make it a lot more difficult. It gives them that room. Remember, you lose them when you give them room to escape. Here's their room to escape right here. All right? So get close to them. Here. Hug up that arm right here, and then just sit back on your bum. All right? Now, if you've done this well and you have this arm wrapped up pretty tight, you won't even get back to here. You probably won't even lift the hips up before they start to tap out. All right? If you've got this done tight, it happens pretty fast. All right? So, now, that's taking that from that initial position. All right? From that mount position. All right? Now, last thing we'll kind of go over here for today on the arm bars. All right? If you think about the scarf hold escapes. So those of you guys done those scarf hold escapes before, you kind of know how they go. All right? They got you in that scarf hold. You get this arm across the neck. Boom. Boom. You throw that leg over their head, and then you sit up with them. All right? There's your arm bar right there. So they're basically on their side at that point with your leg over their head. You hug up that arm, and you got them. Just like that. So if you've got a partner, this is a tricky one to do without a partner. All right? Because you have to imagine a lot of stuff. All right? But what I would do is if I'm in a scarf hold, get my way. All right? Get that arm across the neck. Take this hand out. Brace your, making that frame right here with your arms. Lift them. Okay? You're right there, right? All right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to push that head back, throw my left leg over their head, and sit up with them. All right? So what I'm going to do from right here is take my right leg, step it over, reach down. I'm going to grab their, it should be their right arm, their top arm, and I'm just going to sit up straight and hug it up. The sit up straight part is important. Don't just hug up the arm and then roll back. Hug it up. Sit up straight and suck it up to you. Get that arm in there nice and tight. A lot of times what I'll do on somebody is I'll hug them up extra, like pull them in. Like if I got their arm, I'll like pull them back into me a little bit. And then from right here, just sit down on your butt. Boom, throw your left leg over their head. And you should have their arm bar right there. And lift up the hips. There's another one of those ones too. This one can be a little bit easier to do sometimes because what I'll do is I'm here, I'll kind of sit on them. So I'll step my left leg over their head. So if their head was right here, I'll step my left leg over their head to here, and then I'll basically slide down their back when I sit. And that'll get me real close to them. All right? So then they don't even go on their back. I get that arm bar on them like this. All right? And I slide down their back when I sit, and they get to right here, and then that arm's trying to go that way. All right? It's not going to get to the ground before I tap out. All right? So just a couple applications for that one. We'll work on that a little bit. I think I'd like to kind of try to end the B-Day classes with something a little bit for the advanced students. I know we said these weren't going to be specific to any belt rank. And I mean, anybody of any belt rank can do an arm bar, but if you're newer, if you're not in the advanced class or in the teens class, you got to work these real light, real slow. I would say make sure you're either do them on an adult, on a grown-up that can kind of pull back a little bit and might have the physical strength to stop you from going too far with it. All right, start with it that way. And then if you've got Lucia and Meg, you guys done this before. But you got somebody more your size you can work with, always start with it slow. Always do it slow. All right? When you're doing this as a drill at home, slow. Just as soon as you feel the pressure, tap out. All right? Take turns going back and forth. Give your arm a chance to rest in between. All right? So nice little fun to end it with. Just a little bit of a submission. So yeah, thank you guys. I think we're going to hold it right there for today. Thank you guys very much for joining us. So for those of you guys that might not have caught the announcement in the beginning, somebody did finally cue me into what was going on with the YouTube videos. So they should be going up over the course of this week. We figured it out. So you guys should be getting some invitations from me over the course of this week, on and early next week. I'll be getting these classes up on the YouTube channel, the Zoom classes up on the YouTube channel. So if you missed one, you can go back through and watch it again and see what you missed. So let's close out class right for today, guys. I made a mess. All right. Feet together, everybody. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Everybody go ahead and bow. Bend your knees slightly to your horse stance. Close up that hand. Pick it up. Stand up straight. And bow. All right. Thank you guys very much. Have a great weekend, guys. I know the weather's awesome all of a sudden, but you guys stay safe and stay healthy and stay away from everybody. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Goodbye.